Well, greetings everyone, and welcome to another edition of Movie Goodness, where we examine life through cinema here on the KB Radio Network. I am your host, Kevin Reed, and I have one question for everyone listening today. What is going on in Hollywood? What is going on, man? It seems like everybody has lost their collective minds. In Hollywood, it's like, man, every week is another incident. There's another problem. There's another celebrity who is getting into trouble. Now, this is nothing new. Don't get me wrong. It's nothing new. It's not like this is a couple of movie stars fell and bumped their head, and all of a sudden, it's Hollywood going wild. No. It's always been like that, but it seems like the past few months it's really went to the highest degree, and I mean serious stuff here. And these are some big stars. You hear about some, DUIs from stars at time, or celebrity getting into a shouting match with the paparazzi, or, stuff like that. But never like this. I mean, serious offenses here that's been taking place. And we're going to touch in on a few of them. I just wanted to discuss them and give my humble opinions of it. Granted, this is my editorial, my opinions. This is nothing that is actual factual. It's just how I feel about it. Me going through the situations and doing my research now. It ain't like I just saw a headline and just ran with it, like most people do on the internet. No, I actually sat down and researched some of these things. It really, well, all of them that we're about to discuss, and came up with my own opinion, formulated my own opinion about each situation. And of course, we're going to have a movie review at the end of this show that kind of relates to what we're talking about today. Now, before we go any further, I just want to say that some of these instances, or if not all of them, to be honest with you, are serious things. And, I like to joke, play, laugh, and all this here. I'm not making light of any of these instances or events that took place. I'm not making light of it. I'm not joking around with it. I may crack a joke here and there, but it's just to break the tension. I'm not trying to make light of anything. So we're going at this seriously, and as much as I can, because anybody who knows me knows I'm not a serious person. I like to laugh, joke, and play, which we still are, but I just want to let everybody know that I do take these instances seriously, and they do need to be handled with care, because in one case in particular, someone passed away. Somebody was killed. So I definitely don't want to make light of that, because it's kind of messed up. So I just wanted to get that out the way, so nobody can say that, he thinks it's funny. Nah, I'm not saying that. One of them is funny though, but when it gets to that one, you're gonna know. And so let's break them down. There's only 4 or 5. Well, 4 things that we're going to talk about that has taken place within the last 6-7 months that it makes you scratch your head like, man, Hollywood has lost their mind. Let's start off with the heavy one, the big heavy, the one that really is the saddest one out of them all, and this is where a life was lost on the set of the film Russ. It was described as a Western which starred Alec Baldwin. And on the set, Alec Baldwin, of course, this is Western. He had his gun, had a revolver. It's supposed to be a prop. And while Alec Baldwin was handling the prop, he fired the weapon, and it was actually a live round in it, allegedly. And it struck cinematographer Helena Hutchins. I hope I'm saying her name right. But she was struck with the bullet and passed away, fatally shot. And also the director was injured too on the set from that. So it was discovered to be a live round in it, but it's like, wow, man. Why this one is connected to all the other ones that we're going to discuss is because of Alec Baldwin. And Alec Baldwin has had some run-ins in the past, let's say like that, with anger issues and stuff like that. And I'm not saying that had anything to do with it. I'm not saying that he did this on purpose. I'm pretty sure that he did not do this on purpose. He wasn't the one handling, he wasn't the prop master on set. So there should have been some better safety precautions on set. I mean, we could think back to what that was in the 90s. I can't think of the year, but everybody remembers The Crow, which starred the late great Brandon Lee. And he's the late great because of this same thing. The gun went off on set, supposed to be a prop, and struck him and killed him instantly. Struck him in the heart, and he died in the middle of that movie. And so they had to finish that movie with a stand-in. I think he filmed most of his scenes already, but regardless, this isn't the first time this didn't happen. But it's so sad, bro. It's so sad that now I guess they're gonna have to change the protocols on set with weapons. Is in these these action movies and westerns or whatever the case may be. Whenever there is a gun involved, I know that on some sets they actually use real guns, especially when it comes to close-ups. You can't have a super soaker holding a super soaker when you have a close-up. Everybody's gonna see it and know it's fake. So they use real guns in close-ups. They just don't use live rounds. But for whatever reason, I don't even know why a live round would be on a movie set. Why would you even have those accessible? It's I don't know. It's an upsetting thing because this didn't have to happen. Honestly, this did not have to happen. Well, when anybody is murdered, in real life or in a movie, or on a movie set rather, it don't have to happen. So it's just sad, and I feel bad for Alec Baldwin. I remember when it first happened back in October of last year. You saw pictures from the set when right after it happened, and he's outside, and he's like, man, the man is just distraught. I mean, he just killed somebody. He's an actor. He isn't a highly trained assassin here. He's just a guy, on working on set. He's an actor, and this happened. It's like, wow, But I feel bad for him. And I've always been a fan of Alec Baldwin. My wife can't stand as far as his acting. I'm talking about his acting wise. She can't stand none of the Baldwins. I like the Baldwins, especially Alec. I love Alec. The Hunt for Red October, man. Come on, man. The Shadow. List goes on. I'm not about to start going through all that. But anyways, he is I feel an exceptional actor, a very underrated actor in a lot of ways. It's just his off-screen persona, his real life persona, is what disdains a lot of people. Whether it's his political views or his treatment of the paparazzi. He got in an incident years ago. This one, he was married to Kim Basinger, and they were coming from somewhere, and the photographer was following him around, taking pictures. I understand that's aggravating. And paparazzi really needs to. These people are human beings too, man. Would you like somebody? Every step you take, they there with you, snapping pictures in your face, you know. And he's with his family. I think his daughter was there. I think there was a baby. His daughter was a baby at the time, and that's aggravated. He assaulted the baby. He allegedly assaulted the man, you know. And that went to court. He got into it on the airline. He was playing Words with Friends one time. This was a few years back. And around that time, Words with Friends was the bee's knees. That was a very competitive game. Because me and my wife was playing it when it first came out on the phones. And man, it really strengthened your focus and your mind to come up with some words that you probably don't use on a daily basis. And used to love that game. But he was I guess he was deep in it, you know, on the airline. Couldn't use your phone and take off and all this other stuff, but he refused to put down his phone because he was playing Words with Friends and made a big brouhaha on the flight about the phone. So, you know, and he had other run-ins as well. So he has a history of I guess you could say, quote unquote, bad boy behavior in the public eye. So for this to happen on set, of course, they suspended production of the film. I don't think they ever going to go back to it. 9 times out of 10, that's probably this is going to take a hit to his film career. Of course, let's be honest, his film career really wasn't popping lately anyway. But yeah, he's going to take a hit. He's going to take a hit from this. And that pretty much started the ball rolling as far as the subject that we have today with Hollywood going crazy. Let's go into something more recent, right? Something more recent. This Johnny Depp, Amber Heard fiasco. Now, under any other circumstances, I could care less about all this stuff that's going on in the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial. But they have the audacity to have this on television. They're showing this. Now, they didn't show what trial that was. It was a big profile trial. Oh, Lord. I can't remember. Jeffrey Epstein's girlfriend, the one that was on trial. Can't think of her name. But anyway, they refused to show anything about that trial. Of course, I have my theories on why. Because there was a lot of high-profile names being dropped during that trial, and they didn't want that on television or any other publication for that matter. So they didn't show that to the public. But you get wall-to-wall coverage of a defamation hearing between Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. Who cares? You know, who cares? And this was the basis of this show today. Because I sat back there the other day and I came home, sat down, I was tired, see what's on TV. First thing that popped on the screen was this stupid trial. And I'm like, oh my goodness, why is this on? Why are they even covering this? So I got off of that. I picked up my iPad. I started thumbing through social media. As soon as I open up that Facebook, I'm seeing memes and pictures from the trial and all this. Like, why is this trial important? Because, like I said, I didn't care less. Still don't, but I didn't care. So I'm like, what is going on? I know they were married. I know that they got a divorce about a year later, and I know that she had accusations that he physically assaulted her and you know, domestic violence and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, that happened. I thought that was over with. Why are we still in trial here? What is happening? And so I actually did some research to find out what's the point of this trial. Well, the point of this trial, for those of you who don't know, like me, who was in the dark with it and probably didn't care, and probably still don't, but just want to go along with the ride, which I appreciate. Thank you for joining. This is what's going on. Johnny Depp is suing Amber Heard along with the news group newspapers, which, you know, is a UK publication which published the Sun, you know, the UK version of the National Enquirer here in the United States. So he's suing them for defamation, you know, because the newspapers was taking the side of Amber Heard, calling the man a wife beater and druggie and all this other stuff, and he wasn't going for it, you know. So he sued him. Well, let's get a little history. Let's go back to Johnny Depp's and Amber Heard's relationship. We all know Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp, before this, Johnny Depp was considered probably the greatest actor to never win an Academy Award of this generation. Well, at least of my generation. Johnny Depp is one of the best actors in Hollywood. At least he was. Recently, I'll say within the last 10 years, with his film catalog, not so much. Because there's been some horrible movies this man done made. But Johnny Depp career is top notch. If you go back, his film debut, the original Nightmare on Elm Street, you know, all the Pirate of the Caribbean films. He was nominated for Best Actor for playing Captain Jack Sparrow in the first Pirates of the Caribbean. Phenomenal movie. The movie was so phenomenal. I didn't even want to see it. I thought it was dumb, and I like pirate movies, but I thought it was going to be dumb. I didn't really care to go see it. And I forgot how I end up going to the theater to see it, but I did go to the theater and see it. And I end up going back 3 times. I loved the original. Well, the first Pirates of the Caribbean. The others, whatever. But anyways, his career is great. Black Mass. When he played, what's his name? Whitey Bulger, I believe. What's his name? Haunting performance. Love Johnny Depp in that movie. Movie not really. It's a little. It's alright, but he was excellent in it, and that was pretty much the last real good Johnny Depp that we got. Well, after all that, his life kind of went poof publicly because he lived a private life. You know, his life was his private life was just that, private. You know, he was in high profile relationships. He was engaged to Winona Ryder years back. A few supermodels in there. He's been in some relationships, but nothing public, you know, like this, high profile like this. Now you may ask yourself, Amber Heard, really? I know. I know. Full disclosure, I'm not the biggest Amber Heard fan, film wise. Her acting, I think she's bad, actually. I don't care for Amber Heard as an actress. I had more to say, but I'm just going to leave that alone. But she is not that great of an actress. But once those two got together, now she's a beautiful woman. Now, once they got together, you're like, boy, that's a real handsome couple there. And so, but there's a big age gap as well. There's like almost a 20-year age gap there. But whatever. But their relationship began back in 2012, and then they got married in 2015. But Amber Heard filed for divorce from Depp in 2016. Then, to put icing on the cake, she obtained a temporary restraining order against him. In response, Johnny Depp alleged she was attempting to secure a premature financial resolution by stating that she was abused in the marriage. Amber Heard had testified about the alleged abuse at a divorce court deposition, saying that Depp had been verbally and physically abusive throughout their relationship, usually while intoxicated by alcohol or drugs. The divorce received a large amount of publicity, with images of Amber Heard's alleged injuries published by the media. Now, the media was the news group newspapers. They ran with the story, and they ran rampant with it. A settlement was reached, and the divorce was finalized in January of 2017. Amber Heard and Johnny Depp issued a joint statement saying that their relationship was intensely passionate and at times volatile, but always bound by love. Neither party has made false accusations for financial gain. There was never any intent of physical or emotional harm. Depp paid Heard a settlement of $7 million, which she pledged to donate to the ACLU and the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles. The settlement also included a non-disclosure agreement preventing either party from discussing their relationship publicly. Now, that's where it gets confusing for me, because I remember when all that happened, and then everything started coming out. Everything started coming out, because they released that statement. It was a joint statement. They was all together, it was happy-go-lucky. We just, we're better apart, it isn't me, it's her. It isn't her, it's me. Or, vice versa, and blah, blah, blah. It was rainbows and sunshines. And then all of a sudden, the wheels came off, man. Photos were getting released, and accusations were being made, and oh my goodness, what is going on, man? He started feeling bad. You really, what got me with this, and the reason I'm talking about it, is because everybody formulated an opinion about this case, on the internet. And don't get me wrong, I wasn't paying attention to everybody's opinion, because it's an opinion, but everybody was like Team Depp, Team Amber. The majority gonna go, and it's gonna come off as controversial, but it's the truth. Majority of people is gonna automatically go to the woman's side, which 99.9% of the time is the right choice to make. But sometimes we need to sit back and really assess the situation. Really look over the landscape and see what's the real deal here. So something just don't smell right here, and that was the case with this. It just didn't smell right. Why all of a sudden Johnny Depp, and not to say that it's not true, because honestly, I'm talking about this incident, but I don't have an opinion either way. I'm not going to say Amber Heard is lying. Not going to say Johnny Depp is lying. I don't know. I wasn't there. But it's just something I said. It's just something that ain't right. After all these years, Johnny Depp who's had multiple relationships, and you haven't heard a peep out of none of these women, but he chooses Amber Heard to beat on. You know, I don't get it. Now, I'm not saying that's not possible. That is very possible. It is not out of the realm of possibilities here. But it just doesn't sit right. And then when you hear his testimony, his story behind it, that she was the one that was abusive, that she was the one doing drugs and turned volatile and was angry and jealous and through all of his text messages and everything that he went through, because he had bruises and cuts and stuff too. So now granted, that could be defensive wounds or whatever. I don't know. I think they both crazy. That's my opinion. Yeah, I said all that to say I think that they're both out their mind. They're both thrown off. And I don't know. But it's just crazy how your career can go from 60 to 0 in a matter of seconds. Normally it's 0 to 60. But they slammed on brakes on Johnny Depp's career to the point. One of the other reasons Johnny Depp is suing the News Group newspaper, is that the publication, The Sun, they had called him a wife beater, like I said. Then they criticized J.K. Rowling, the author of the Harry Potter books and the Fantastic Beasts books, as long as also one of the executive producers of those films. They had criticized her for approving Johnny Depp to be cast in Fantastic Beasts and the Crimes of Grindelwald, which is based on her novel, which she did approve his casting. So ultimately, when this new movie came out a couple of weeks ago, Fantastic Beasts and the Secrets of Dumbledore, he was recast. Mads Mikkelsen replaced him in the role. He lost the role because of this case. And that's pretty messed up. That's pretty messed up. But yet still, Amber Heard is still going to be Mera in the Aquaman movies. And I'm like, I'm going to be honest with you. Because they have, people have signed a petition online to have her removed. And I think it's up to 2 million signatures to have her removed from the sequel. Yet, I don't think they're going to do it. Because I believe they finished filming. If I'm not mistaken. I think they finished filming Aquaman 2. And so, it is what it is. Just got to deal with it. But I was saying replace her not because of this. Because she's a bad actress. That's why I was saying replace her. She's not good. She's the worst part of that movie. Well, no, that's not true. It's not true, Kevin. That movie was just, I did not like Aquaman. Did not like Aquaman. But anyways, but yeah, it's like, man, this is literally wall to wall coverage of the Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial, which is, who cares? But that's Hollywood. That's Hollywood. Which brings me to another instances. We were talking about Amber Heard and Aquaman 2, a DC property, a Warner Brothers property. Well, which I failed to mention, Warner Brothers also owns the Fantastic Beasts, the Harry Potter films as well. So Warner Brothers 86'd Johnny Depp from one of their properties, but didn't do the same for Amber Heard for one of her properties, because the same allegations are brought up against her as they are with Johnny Depp. And so if you're going to do one for one, you got to do it for the other as well. And I think that's where a lot of uproar is coming from the social media community or whatever. That, you know, it's kind of a double standard here. You know, yeah. But anyways, that's where it stands with that. But speaking of DC, Warner Brother properties, and one of their top actors, Ezra Miller. For those of you who don't know who Ezra Miller is an actor. Pretty good actor, by the way. From The Perks of Being a Wallflower, The Truth About Kevin, Justice League, Zack Snyder's Justice League, and the upcoming Flash movie. Ezra Miller has a serious problem. I don't even know where to start with Ezra Miller. And the problem here is a problem that honestly is the big problem with Hollywood. Because if Ezra Miller was a normal, everyday, walking around person, he would be under, well, they would be under the jail, right? But being as though they are a celebrity, actor, get a pass. They get a pass. Ezra Miller, and the reason I'm saying they is because Ezra Miller identifies as queer. And they use pronouns they and them. So, not to offend they. I haven't mastered the pronoun thing. So, if I do slip up and say he, don't burn my house down. I apologize. But anyways, some have rumored that they have a alcohol addiction, maybe a drug addiction problem or something. Definitely an attitude problem. Anger issues galore. Go back to 2011, right? When they were shooting The Perks of Being a Wallflower, Ezra Miller was a passenger in a vehicle that was pulled over in Pittsburgh for a broken taillight by the police, right? They discovered 20 grams of marijuana in Ezra Miller's possession. The actor was charged with drug possession, but the charges were later dropped by a judge. They instead faced a penalty of $600 for 2 citations of disorderly conduct. They later commented, "I don't feel like there's any need to hide the fact that I smoke pot. It's a harmless herbal substance that increase sensory acceptance, whatever." And so, all right, that's fine, But let me get pulled over, and I have 20. I got 20 grams of weed in my car. If I don't get shot because I'm black, I'm definitely going to jail. But it's whatever. They found out he's a celebrity. They're a celebrity, and then that's how that took place. Then you go back to 2020. Now this is where it really went into the radar. This is when I thought, man, something is wrong with Ezra Miller. There was a video that popped up online where you see Ezra Miller choke a woman, then throw her on the ground. First time I saw the video, I honestly thought it was a joke. I thought it was, something that was staged or something. Because I'm like, man, nah, it can't be. Nah. Really? But after a couple of days, gonna find out, no, No, that's what they did. It was a bar employee, and the bar employee identified, yeah, that was Ezra Miller. They were escorted off the premises by the staff, and that was the end of it. You didn't hear no more about that incident. Still haven't. Warner Brothers has yet to address that situation. Once again, catering to a celebrity, because Kevin Reed, if I was to choke and slam a woman on the ground, if I don't get shot, I'm going to jail. But it was brushed under the rug. Fine. 2 years later, this year, in fact, just a couple of weeks ago, in fact, to be more accurate, it was March the 28th. Ezra Miller was arrested in Hawaii, of all places, following an alleged physical confrontation with patrons after having hauled obscenities at clients at a karaoke bar. Who gets into it with people at a karaoke bar? Ezra Miller does, and was charged with disorderly conduct and harassment. The next day, a Hawaii couple filed a temporary restraining order against Ezra Miller after claiming the actor threatened to kill them. The official complaint document filed with the local police alleged that Miller bust into the bedroom of the patrons and threatened by shouting, "I will bury you and your slut wife." Miller had been staying with the couple while in Hawaii after one of them met the actor at the farmer's market. The couple then bailed out. Check this out. The couple had bailed out Miller from jail on a $500 bond following the actor's previous arrest at the karaoke bar. The restraining order case was dismissed by a judge 2 weeks later solely per the couple's request. So he went to jail, right, for the karaoke thing. This couple, who he was living with randomly, they went and bailed him out. Went home. He threatened to kill him. So he ended up going back to jail. But they, no, he didn't go to jail, but they did the restraining order, right? All right, cool, whatever. So 2 weeks later, the couple, I guess they felt bad or whatever the case may be, felt like, look, it's over. It's water under the bridge. Let's move on. Dropped it 2 weeks later. Dropped it. That was on April the 18th. You want to know what happened on April the 19th? Well, I'm about to tell you. Ezra Miller was again taken into custody for second-degree assault. I can't make this up, people. I don't know if Ezra Miller has a camera following him around and this is a movie he's making, but this is actually happening, man. This is actually happening. He was arrested the very next day after the restraining order was dropped for throwing a chair which hit a 26-year-old woman and left a half-inch cut on her forehead after being told to leave during a private get-together. Ezra Miller had been arrested 20 minutes after the attack during a traffic stop at an intersection on Highway 130. Just hours after the second arrest within weeks. Ezra Miller pled no contest to the karaoke bar incident and was fined $500 for disorderly conduct. I'm gonna tell y'all something. Number one, I'm moving to Hawaii because obviously their laws are very liberal, They are they are very understanding in Hawaii. Number 2, I may be moving to Hawaii. Ezra Miller needs to get out of Hawaii. I thought Hawaii was a beautiful place. I haven't been. Pray that one day I do go. I thought it was a beautiful, Zen place that is just transcending to, you know what I'm saying? No, not him. Not him. He goes there and just wrecks shop. This dude is a problem. And what makes the problem even more pressing, selfishly, might I add, by me, there's a movie that I'm dying to see that he is a part of, and not just a supporting star. He's the star of it. And that movie is The Flash. You know how long I've been waiting for the Flash movie? My whole life. I've been dying for a Flash movie. Finally, we get it. Finally, they finished filming it. It's over. It's in the can. They're finished with it. It was supposed to come out this year. I'm still mad about that. They pushed it back to next summer. All right, whatever. I guess they knew this was coming because they couldn't promote this movie this year with this going on. There's no way. Not with Ezra Miller involved. There is no way. So I guess it all happens for a reason. But my God, man. This dude. Now, there's a lot of debate going on. Should they recast him? Should they do reshoots? They're not doing no reshoots. I can answer that for y'all now. That is a $200 million movie that is finished. They're not about to put another $100 million, and I'm being nice. They're not going to put another $100 million into doing reshoots. Because Ezra Miller is not only playing the Flash, but he's playing another version of himself in the Flash. So it's two of them. So you have to. It's a mess. It's a mess. Their best bet is just to release it and let whatever happens happen. Because at this point, I don't see him recovering, man. Unless they, I think I said he back there. They go seek some help because they need some help. They really do. They need help. I don't know what the problem is. Can't be weed. I don't think weed does this. Weed mellows you. This is a different thing here altogether. I don't know, but I mean, it's in jeopardy though. There are being discussions about what to do with Ezra Miller going forward in any other productions. I mean, just think about it. Now, The Flash was supposed to kick off this new kind of DCEU and, where we heading in that particular brand. And The Flash is a big part of that. The Flash is one of my favorite comic book characters. And it's just sad that, number one, it took forever to get this film off the ground. That movie went through so many different directors, so many different versions, and you finally get it, and boom, this happens. Not to mention, we were just talking about Johnny Depp. We were just talking about Fantastic Beasts. Ezra Miller is in those movies. He's in the Fantastic Beasts films. Just in the last one, Secret of Dumbledore. He was in that. And so, I mean, what you do with that? Will he be in any more? Are they going to replace him like they replaced Johnny Depp? And I mean, it's a mess. It is truly a mess because Ezra Miller just can't do right, man. He just can't get right, boss. He just can't. He can't get right. Who gets arrested the day after a judge personally hands you a get out of jail free card? Amazing. Amazing. But that's Ezra Miller. That's him. Whatever the case, whatever. But the last incident I want to talk about is the one everybody knows about. You've seen it, you heard about it, you had your opinions about it. Everybody has said their piece about it. I know that is an over and done with thing, but it's part of this theme today. And that is, of course, the Will Smith, Chris Rock slap your mama incident at the Academy Awards a few weeks ago. This, I don't know what else I could say about this that hadn't already been said. We all know the story. Even people who's not into Hollywood and films and all this other stuff, they know about it. This is a thing. This was a big thing. And I think I spoke my piece about it in the past when it first happened. And my opinions have not changed. I still feel the same way. I'm still embarrassed by it. As a black man, I'm embarrassed by it. This shouldn't have happened. And I'm embarrassed for Chris Rock and Will Smith. Because Will Smith has built up this persona his whole life, his whole career, as being the nice guy. He's approachable. He's a good guy. He's Will Smith. Fresh Prince. And this happens. And it kind of just went poof. Just like that. It just poof. It's funny how you can do 99 amazing things in your life. You do one bad thing, and that's a wrap. That's all everybody going to remember you for. Because when you bring up Will Smith now, you're not going Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Your mind's not going to go to Bad Boys. Your mind is not going to go towards Men in Black, Independence Day, King Richard, all these great films that he was a part of. That's not where your mind's going to go. When somebody says Will Smith in front of you, you're going to immediately think about the slap. And that's tarnishing his legacy. Probably tarnished it. Now, in time, I'm sure everybody's going to forget about it. Because like every one of these instances that we talked about today, in time, until the next big thing come around, we're going to forget about it. As soon as something else happens, we're going to forget about it. It's on to the next one. So I'm until that fateful day for Will Smith, that's all we're going to remember. But look how much it cost him on the biggest night of his career. Because just about an hour, not even a whole hour later, the man won Best Actor. An award that he's been scraping and scrounging and blood, sweat, and tears to get his whole career. He finally gets it, and he got to stand up there and cry like an idiot. Not because he finally won the award, because he was embarrassed. And I know that jokes, not all jokes are for everybody, which is true. Some things are funny to some people that ain't funny to others. Some things are offensive to people that others can just brush off. I get that. And apparently that bothered Will Smith and his wife. And I respect that. I'm not saying they're wrong for being offended or being upset. I'm not saying that. They had the right to be offended and upset if that's truly what they were. It's how you handle a situation. I remember when this first happened, and people probably still feel that way. There are some women who was online and said, oh yeah, they was on Will Smith's side. Oh yeah, he's standing up for his woman and blah, blah, blah. That is not standing up for your woman. As a man, that is not standing up for your woman. That it isn't. Now, there's ways you can stand up for her. You ain't have to do it like that. Because now y'all both hurting. You know? Now you're both hurting. No, me and Chris Rock gonna have a talk after this ceremony. Or after he gets off stage. Then I'm gonna go back there and talk to him. I'm gonna talk to him. And if he say something greasy, then I'm gonna slap the taste out of his mouth. That's how that go. But I'm gonna do it off camera, by ourselves, man to man, after I try to talk to you like a man. That's how that go. Because what you got out of this? What was the point? What you just to say that? Oh yeah, I stood up for my woman. Oh, okay. Now look at you. You stood up there and cried like a little girl. Which one looked better, Will? It was just dumb. It was dumb. And it cost you so much. It cost you a 10-year ban. Now, granted, he resigned from the Academy. That don't mean that he can't make movies anymore. That just means he can't be nominated. Actually, he can still be nominated. He can't go to the ceremonies anymore. I think that's how it go. Because I heard it from 2 different ways or 3 different ways how that works. But I think he can't get nominated for a film anymore. And he definitely can't attend the ceremony for 10 years. Projects been put on hold, if not indefinite hold. Bad Boys 4 has been put on hold. His biography put on hold. He had a deal with Netflix that was about to come through. They killed that. A deal with Apple TV. I think that was with the biography, his movie. There was an actual bidding war between Apple TV and some other streaming service for the rights to the movie. They both pulled out. So, look how much you lost. Because of one moment. One moment. It's upsetting, man. It's really upsetting. So, yeah, Hollywood has lost its mind. It's just so much. It's crazy. It's crazy how it's going. Well, we done went through so much. We're almost out of time. So I'm gonna speed through this little review of the 1999 American buddy comedy film, which was directed by the great Frank Oz, Bowfinger. And the reason I picked Bowfinger as a review today, because it's a movie about Hollywood and how stupid Hollywood is, I guess you could say. It's more of a satire of how Hollywood is and how crazy it could be and whatever. And so the film stars Steve Martin, who also wrote the screenplay, and Eddie Murphy in, dare I say, one of his best performances. He plays 2 people here, actually brothers, and he knocked it out the park. This movie was actually funnier than what I gave it credit for back in '99. I watched it recently, and I'm like, man, this movie is really funnier than I thought it was when I first saw it in the theaters. Because when I first saw it in the theaters, I was like, it's all right. But now, I guess I'm more mature now. It only took me 40 years, but I finally reached some maturity. But depending on who you ask, they'll say that's a bald-faced lot. But anyways, this film is funny. It is pretty funny. Like I said, Eddie Murphy, Steve Martin, Heather Graham, Terrence Stamp, Robert Downey Jr., Jamie Kennedy, and the list goes on and on. They had a lot of real good actors in this film. A little small film, but at the time of its release, it got a lot of positive reviews, and it grossed $96 million on a $55 million budget. I thought it was one of Eddie Murphy's best performances, Oscar worthy. Honestly, I know I throw that out a lot, but honestly, not so much for how an enduring performance that it is, but it felt like 2 different people. With the characters that he played in this movie. And, Eddie Murphy can do this with his eyes closed. Think of the Nutty Professor. When he played, 7 people? Coming to America when he played multiple people. This is what he do. But this was really, really different and really good. But yeah, it has a real funny, satiric look of Hollywood and how things get made, how conniving you have to be, and how conniving the studios are as well. And so, Bowfinger, in my quick little review, because I talk too much, it gets a C+. It's a real funny, good film. I really enjoyed it. It's, like I said, one of the best from it. One of the underrated Eddie Murphy films. So, everybody, that's the show for today. We touched on, and we just scratched the surface of how crazy Hollywood is. But these were the biggest high profile things that has taken place over the last year in Hollywood that makes you scratch your head and say, really? So, yeah, I'm praying for all of them. I hope all these things come to a happy ending, to a Hollywood ending, if you will, because it's sad. But the majority of these are sad. Actually, all of them. If you want to be honest with you, they are really, really sad. So, everybody, if you enjoyed the show, you can let me know. You can email the show at kbradiopodcast@gmail.com. You can let us know on social media, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube. You can get in contact with the KB Radio Network. If you're listening on iTunes or Apple Podcasts, don't forget to leave those 5 stars for a player. Don't forget to leave your reviews. If you're listening on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Amazon Music, and many, many more, don't forget to follow the show, share the show, let everybody know that you're listening to the KB Radio Network and all of its programming. Everybody, it has been a joy to talk to you today. Happy to join you, even happier that you joined me. Everybody, I love you. Continue to love one another, and I'm speaking to you over there in Hollywood land. Love one another, people. Stop acting crazy. Until we speak again, you all be blessed.